Hey, good morning, guys. So this is our Monday training. Today we figured, Mitch and I were talking. I figured, let's revisit the Google appointment scheduling option that Google has, and most people don't even know it's available to set up a Google appointment scheduler. So we're gonna get right into it. So hang tight real quick while I share my screen to, hmm, I guess it would help to know which one am I on. Share screen one. You can see my screen okay, Mitz?
Yep, got it.
Okay, it says Google.
Yep.
Okay. So what we're going to do is if you Googled Google appointment scheduling, it will take you appointment scheduling with Google Calendar here. So I am going to put this in the chat. Where is my Zoom window? Well, I guess it would help if I could figure out where my chat window is. There you are. Chat. Okay. So what this basically allows somebody to do is set up an appointment scheduling system, which is linked to your Gmail calendar, which is actually pretty cool because since it's linked to your primary Gmail calendar and that primary Gmail calendar is also linked to your Moxie Engage, everything gets synced together, which is pretty cool. So besides doing that, right now, we are looking at the no cost because it's 100% free and we don't need to create multiple booking pages. For most real estate agent, one booking page is all they need. Hey, here's my schedule. Here's my availability. Book an appointment. Now, businesses may have several different ones and plus other features like automated email reminders, email verification, etc., or meeting recordings. We don't need none of that. What we're going to do is focus on the free one. So basically either get started or on the top right hand corner in blue, it says get started. Either way. So I am going to select get started. Let me see what else is. Yeah, there you go. Personal use only because we're not doing it as a business. And currently you want to make sure that you are signed in to the email account that you're going to tie. So typically your work email. If it's whichever one is your Gmail work related, because that's the calendar. Excuse me. Also, let me rephrase. The email account that's linked to your Moxie Engage. That is the one that you want to use because when you set up appointments here, you want them to show up in Engage. Plus, you want Engage appointments to show up in your Google Calendar and take away from your bookings. Okay, so we want to make sure you're on the right calendar. So let me go back one more. Okay, the first thing that'll pop up, it'll show you the slides right here. And of course, it's saying scheduling just got easier. Schedule appointments, create a booking page. Great. Just follow it along just so you understand it a little bit better. Automated updates, which is really cool because the minute somebody sets an appointment with you, that time frame is automatically taken away from your calendar. And let's say they decide to cancel that appointment. Well, if they cancel it, you get notified, of course, and then that appointment spot opens back up as long as it's within the desired time frame that you suggested, and we'll talk about that. And then you can also share your booking page easily, really easy to do. And we're also going to talk about how you can embed this booking calendar right onto your Moxie website. The good thing is once it's onto your Moxie website, it's there. So now if a client potentially comes up, they can click share or schedule an appointment with me, book an appointment with you, whether it's on the phone or in person. And then for authority reasons, Google has an option on your Google listing that has a button that says schedule an appointment. So if you put this link in there, so now your customers that find your profile on Google AI search or Google regular search, they go to your Google profile and there'll be an option there that'll say book an appointment, which is actually all really cool. Okay, so let me keep going. And then, of course, you want to be prepared for appointments. So all you do is hit got it. So this is basically how it looks. If you look on the top left-hand corner, it says add a title. Okay, That is a title for this one. So let's say I'm just going to put personal. Um, just put personal. Okay, then we're going to go through all the different settings so you understand how this thing works. It says, hey, if you're going to schedule an appointment, what duration? You could decide, hey, I want all my appointments 15 minutes apart. Now, if you notice this calendar right here is now opened up in 15-minute grids. If I switch this to 30, see, every hour there's only two slots open. If you decide you want this to be 45 minutes, see now they're overlapping in 45-minute segments. So this is how it's going to show up on your calendar plus on the booking calendar. So let's say somebody wants to schedule an appointment with me. I want them 15 minutes. That's it. I don't want to have somebody on the phone for 30 minutes just talking. It's like, hey, they know that they got 15-minute booking call and I got another appointment coming up. So this way you can find out if they're serious about what they want or not. Okay. Will this repeat weekly? So basically means that the availability that we're going to set up now, does that match weekly? Or it does not repeat. If it doesn't repeat, you're going to have to keep adding it each week. I suggest you leave it to repeat weekly and modify it as you need it as you go along. Then it's saying, hey, so Sundays you said you're unavailable. Mondays is showing 9 to 5. And this is where you would decide. So if you want to be able to take appointment schedules, you can add plus on Sunday that says, you know what, I go to church, so I'm going to make sure that I'm available from 1 to 4. You could decide that. It's just, hey, randomly, if somebody on my website or on my Google listing, I know realistically if somebody schedules that appointment, I can make that appointment. You don't want to leave your calendar wide open and then you're never available and keep changing it. So you want to look at this calendar and says, okay, realistically, if I'm coming in the morning and I'm doing, let's say, prospecting, from 8 to 10. And at that time, I don't take any phone calls. Well, you don't want this to be 8 to 10. You don't want that to be available. But let's say on Mondays, you're like, you know what? I'm available from 10 to let's say 12. So Mondays 10 to 12. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to go to lunch at 1 and I'm going to be back at the office at 1. Excuse me, I'm going to go to lunch at 12, be back at 1 and just work on some paperwork. But between 1 and 3, if somebody schedules the appointment, I can take it. So if you want to do that, then you look at Monday, 10 to noon, and then you add a plus, and then this is to copy, but I want to add a plus, but I'm also available from 1 to 3. Okay, 15-minute slots. Okay, so you designated that part. So this is how you work your schedule the rest of the week. So let's say Tuesday, you're like, you know what? I get into the office early. If somebody wants to schedule an appointment, they can. And you figure out how you want it. I'm only available then. And then I'm just gonna fill these in so you can actually see what it will look like on the calendar. Here I usually do prospecting in the afternoons. Thursdays, I'm not free until I get back, let's say me from the MLS. And then I usually go to lunch around 11. And then Fridays, I want to be available, yeah, 7 o'clock. And then I want to make sure that if I decide to have an early day, I can. So I'm only going to be available those days. That's how you basically initially set it up. It says, okay, this is ideally, you can always modify it, so don't worry. Then time zone, scheduling window. So this is really important. So right now it says 60 days in advance to 4 hours before. So what that basically means is maximum time in advance to an appointment can be booked. If I left that here, that means and I went to one of your calendars that you set up, I can book an appointment 60 days in advance. I'm like, no. Not gonna do it. I don't need anybody scheduling me a week from now to talk to me. That makes no sense because business goes sideways, people go sideways. So you could decide, you know what? No, they have let's say a 3-day maximum time in advance they can schedule an appointment. So they can't schedule it. I could schedule Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday's appointment for Wednesday or Thursday today, depending on the time, but nothing sooner. Okay. And you may decide I want to change it to 2 days. I want 48-hour notice. They need to schedule it because I'm not looking at somebody scheduling an appointment next Wednesday because I know how those appointments are. They pretty much cancel. Okay, let's say we're going to keep it at 3 days. Okay, just for training. The minimum time. So what that means is the minimum time is like, okay, if I'm available at 1, that means the minimum time is 4 hours. That means they have to schedule by 9 a.m. So basically, you're saying I need at least 4 hours advance notice before they schedule an appointment because you don't want to make this shorter, like an hour or 30 minutes. That means if you schedule an hour, that means at 12 o'clock, somebody can schedule an appointment and you probably already made plans. So the minimum time before an appointment can start, it can be booked. So 4 hours, or some people may say, you know what, I need to know 24 hours, but somebody can schedule an appointment 5 days in advance. So that means they have to schedule something. If they want something for tomorrow at 9 a.m., they can schedule, they've already missed the deadline. So they can schedule it for 9:15 tomorrow. This way, if you're working, you have a busy schedule, you got different things going on, you're like, you know what? I'm going to make the client schedule an appointment around my schedule. Because they're like, oh, your calendar is kind of booked. I says, I know, I get super busy. They have no clue you restricted your availability because you tell them all the other times that you were looking to schedule. I'm 100% booked. So let's get you on tomorrow morning at 9:15. They don't know. Okay, so this is how you work at this part. So let's say you decide, you know what? They can let me know at least 6 hours in advance. Okay, great. Okay. Adjust available, indicate times you're available for specific dates. So when you do that, you can schedule it per specific dates. We're going to leave that one alone. There's no reason to do that. Booked appointment settings. This is the bottom one down here. Booked appointment settings. If you hit that drop down, booked appointment settings, it says, hey, would you like a buffer? So basically what that means is like if I schedule an appointment, or let's say a client schedules an appointment at 1 o'clock to no, 10 o'clock today on my calendar, how much of a buffer do I want before somebody else schedules an appointment? Because the last thing I want is somebody schedules an appointment at 10, Mitz comes around, oh, Bob's tied up at 10, I'll take the 10:15. So now I got an appointment back to back, and if for some reason my 10 o'clock, let's say who's on the call? Laura decides to talk a lot, I am going to go past 10:15, and now Mitz is like, is he free or not? So what the buffer says, hey, how much of a lag? So if you decide I want a buffer, but I want 15 minutes. So if you notice, there's a 1 o'clock slot, a 1:30 slot, but the 15 minutes in between are all gone. So this way the buffer helps you just in case that first call goes over a little bit. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you're like, okay, you know what? Hey, so Bob, I appreciate it. Why don't we schedule a live one-on-one because I have an appointment that I'm already going to be running late to. I have an appointment already next. And of course they'll understand. Or some people says, you know what? I want at least a 30-minute gap. It is up to
Yeah.
you. Now within that 1 to 5, I can only schedule 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 appointments within 4 hours. But let's say you want a 30-minute gap in between because hey, you know what? I could still do prospecting if the call finishes. I could still file some paperwork and knowing that there's another call coming in at 1:45, let's say, hypothetical, because the 15-minute call just went on time, got a 30-minute buffer. So if somebody else schedules one, it'll be 1:45. But let's say you decide, you know what, but I don't want to have like 6 calls in 4 hours for God's sake. It's like, you know what, I want to at least, if I'm going to have somebody schedule appointments, I want at least maybe maximum of 3 for that particular for my calendar. So the next option down here, right after you select the buffer type, it says maximum bookings per day. So you can says I only want 3. Okay, what that means is on, let's say just say today's Sunday. Let's say somebody schedules one at 1, one at 1:45, and the next one at 3:15. The rest, the calendar's full. Because I said, I don't care which ones they pick. Out of the availability that I have, once they schedule more than, I only want 3 max bookings. You decide how many max bookings you want per day. You may decide to restrict it and say, hey, I want 2. And then, if this is working, because I'm sharing the calendar and, I'm getting used to it, I'll open it up to 3 bookings because I'm understanding how this system works, plus managing my time, managing my files, managing my prospecting. All depends, but this is where you down it, down it a little bit so you don't get overwhelmed, or you open it up, okay? So you decide once somebody's booked 3 appointments, or let's say 2, two appointments anytime during the week. So if I've already got 2 appointments on Tuesday, great. The rest of the calendar shows that I'm full. They're gonna have to pick an appointment for Wednesday. Simple as that. Okay, so that's how that section works. And then guests can invite others. After booking an appointment, can easily modify the calendar event to invite others. You could leave that open because maybe a husband invites a wife. Who knows? Okay, then if you notice at the bottom, it says calendars. When you select that, you only have the option to select your primary calendar, okay? Which is always your primary. So if I go to my Gmail and I scroll down, wait, it would help if I go to calendar on Gmail, calendar, and I'm on the work email by say web. Oh, that's not the one I want. I need to be at this one. Hopefully I got everything the way it's supposed to be. I'm on my personal. Oh well. Let me go back to my personal then, since I'm going to confuse myself too. If I say web. Okay. See, this is your main calendar right here, the first one. No matter what Google Calendar you're on, you go to your Google Calendar, the first one that shows is the one that gets created with this account. All the rest is because you're creating and adding your own calendars, calendar for family, calendar for this, calendar for that, whatever it is. The main one, this particular one, the first one is the main one that this scheduling appointment scheduler will connect to. That is also the same calendar Moxie uses. So when you're using Moxie Engage and you're like, oh, for a lead, and I'm gonna add an appointment with Bob at this time, and you add it, that appointment is gonna show up onto your primary calendar right here. When it shows up here, and if it's within one of those time slots that your booking calendar is set for, nope, one of your booking calendar is set for, it's going to actually remove that time frame available because there's an appointment scheduled in that slot, which is pretty sweet. So check here, calendar, and it's also going to see bookable items won't be available during any events created or accepted. So if I create an event, that calendar goes away. Okay. So we set this up, and I'm going to show you how it all works. Don't worry. And Explore Plans means if you want to use multiple calendars and you have a paid account. We don't need that as a real estate agent. You just need one. Let's not over confuse ourselves. Let's just do one. Now remember, on this general availability, this is where if there's a plus sign, you add a plus and says, okay, I need to open up my calendar because I need 7 to 10 on Tuesday and go to lunch, and then I'm going to be free from, let's say, 12 to 4. And you just add that, and over time, you're going to have a pretty consistent schedule that if anybody books within these time frames, you know that it's all good, because you know what? We already set it. If I go back to the top, general availability, personal calendar, 15-minute slot. We set the time frame, and we also said that we wanted a 30-minute in between gap, and we want to be notified minimum of 6 hours ahead of time. So once you have this, you're like, hey, If somebody can't schedule a 9 o'clock appointment on Wednesday, they have to do it by 3 a.m. You're like, I'm good with that because then I know that when I get in the morning, unless somebody scheduled the appointment the day before, nobody's going to come in at 7 o'clock and schedule one for 9 because I gave it a 6 hour lag. So that's how I understand, and that's how I would schedule it because I'm like, okay, if I'm available in the mornings, I want to at least know the night before. Because nobody's going to get up at 3 in the morning and says, oh my God, I got to schedule an appointment with Bob. I have to do it by 3 a.m. They're like, okay, you know what? They're going to schedule it at night and let me see what's available. You'll already know there's an appointment schedule. So, hey, guess what? It's okay. I didn't get a last minute appointment. That's the cool thing on how you set this up. Once you have all this configured, you hit next. It says, hey, booking page. How would you like to be identified? See how your identity is displayed on your booking calendar. So it's got a picture because that's your Google profile photo. Um, Location, this is how your identity will show. Fine. Location and conferencing. Would you like to meet in person, via phone, or video? You select. Is it a Google video conferencing, meeting in person? Is it a phone call, or none? Typically, it's a 15 minutes. I want to get on a call, and then if I'm going to do anything, I'd rather them come in person. So let's say we're going to do a phone call. That's how you set. So every appointment somebody schedules is a 50-minute call. Okay. You type in the description, add a note that explains your service. This is how it will appear in the confirmation. This is where I would or you would enter your service descriptions. Now you can also use this booking calendar. Mitch and I were talking a while back for if somebody wants a CMA. He says, hey, why don't you schedule a 15-minute with me? And technically, if you got really good at Moxie Present and they don't mind, say, hey, you know what? Do you mind if I get on Zoom with you, Miss? I know we got a 15-minute call. It's really short, but can you get on Zoom real quick? Give me the information on your property. You know what? I'll put a CMA live for you while you're on the call with me. And then you can actually see by the time I get done in 15 minutes, you'll see how much we can sell your home for. Now think about that one. How many clients are reaching out to potentially sell? They're like, you're gonna actually put a CMA together right now while we're on the call. Yeah, and then I actually email it to you. And then you know what? You let me know when you're free and we'll meet in person. That would blow somebody away that's looking to potentially use you to sell because there's no other realtor that's going to do it real time live for them. Okay, so we're going to put in the description booking form. So on the booking form, when they schedule the booking, first name is required, last name, email address, and phone number. You can add any other item that you want if it's available. You give it a custom name, custom item. So custom item. And I can say it's required. I don't know what it would be, add. And there's a custom item that's required. But we're going to leave it alone because that basically all I need is somebody's first name, last name, email address, and phone number, and they're all required. That's all you want to
Yeah.
worry about. So I wouldn't add anything. Okay.
Bob,
If
really
you
quick, if just I want to interrupt you really quick. That added item, like an address that you would be inquiring about would be something. And I write it into the description, the part below it, that, if you're a buyer, let me have the address of the property you're interested. If you're a seller, let me have your home address. Or if you're looking for a rental, give me the address of the property you're interested in. So just trying to identify themselves.
um you can just say we leave it as address.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Okay. We're not doing any required verification because that's an additional plan. Payments cancellation, there is no payments. We're not doing that. It's premium. Booking confirmation reminders. And basically, like I said, you just go in step by step by step. Booking calendar invitation. Yep. And we're not doing email reminders. Okay. So then this is your basic setup. Now we're going to hit save. See, now it takes you here. It says, "Hey, would you like to see your booking page?" If you notice on my Gmail calendar, there's these little gray gray markers right next to the appointments I already have. Those are the available times that I decided on the booking calendar. So if I open up the booking page, click on it,
Excuse me.
this is that booking page. So remember Monday's gone. Remember on my booking calendar, I had Monday. Click here, and we're gonna edit it. Right, Monday till 3 o'clock. 9 o'clock's already gone. So that means nobody can schedule an appointment for 2:15 because it's less than 6 hours, which is pretty cool. So that means on this calendar, nobody can schedule an appointment today because I'm like, hey, you didn't give me 6 hours notice. Now, so if somebody sees my calendar, they have an option to do this. So let's say somebody wants to schedule an appointment at 7 a.m. This is what they fill in, phone number and avenue, and I'm gonna put in my work email. This is how that somebody would fill in the form, and we're gonna book a calendar. Okay, here's a calendar, personal, phone call organization. Okay, that one's gone. So now if I check my Gmail calendar, excuse me, my C21 Tech Manager email, see it shows right in my email, right here. Appointment booked, personal, 7 a.m. to 7:15. There it is. I can hit yes. We are having that appointment. I could decide later on I want to do no. If I hit yes and we go back to, well, we're going to get a little confusing here. Okay. No, let me go to, where did that calendar go? 7:15. See, here's an appointment right here showing on my calendar. 7:15. I can click on it, I can see the link, and I can decide that I don't want it available, or I could say that I don't want to see it. But if I go to the booking calendar, my 7 o'clock appointment's gone. See right here. It was a 7 o'clock, 15 minutes with a 30-minute buffer. So now if somebody else comes along, they got 7:45. They don't have a choice. Now, before I get all confused, let me close some of these here. Close that one. Okay, if I decide to take on Bob, that's a calendar that we created, I can go in and look at this appointment and says, you know what? No. If I put no and my calendar reloads, my 7 o'clock appointment's open. So basically in your email, as you accept or decline it, you hit no, and then you can say propose a new time. And then you can propose a new time, but there's not a replacement because I'm on the wrong calendar. Or I can technically I have Bob's information, give him a call real quick and says, hey, do you mind if we schedule it for this time and add it? Okay, so this is how this booking calendar looks. It's actually pretty neat, pretty intuitive. It's 100% mobile. So you can share it. You can share the link with anybody. You can share the link at open houses. You can share the link on social media. But what we're going to talk about is if you see the share button on the top right-hand corner, it says you have two options. Here's the link, which is the shorter version. You copy that link, put it in your email, put it anywhere you want to put it, put that in Productivity Hub, where you can create a QR code with the C21 logo in the middle, add that URL, and then add some verbiage next to it in Canva. It says, hey, schedule a free consultation, scan here. Whatever you want to do it at an open house. Once that link is there, that link doesn't go away unless you delete your booking calendar. So it's a great way to market yourself. If somebody's like, hey, yeah, I'm really busy right now. I say, sir, you know what, ma'am, I know you're really busy. Why don't you just scan that QR code and just schedule an appointment with me sometime this week at your convenience, and let's talk about how I can help you. Okay, so that's how it is. It's just knowing how do I just show them a little bit extra. So the other thing is you have a link and then you have an embed. So this is what we're going to look at. So I'm going to go to my Moxie, make sure I'm on the right page and I'm on Isabella's because we were working on Isabella's site last time when we were building the training on putting a custom home page together. So we're going to go right back to her page. So this is how her page landed. And of course, we had a button that said contact me for her. So we may decide, you know what, I want schedule an appointment right underneath that button, right there, underneath. You could do that. But then you can also add this booking calendar onto a page. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go in and says, I want a new page, top left-hand corner, new page. And we're going to call it a custom. Really easy to do. We're going to call it appointment. Keep it short. I'm going to hit enter because what happens is when I hit enter, it publishes the URL, her website address / appointment. Okay. Then we're going to go to Builder so we can get into building mode. Once we're here, all we're going to do is go to module. This little HTML, the third button down, the HTML button, you're just going to drag it. Right there. It's going to be right here. We don't see it because it's waiting for a code. We're going to go back to her page and says, you know what? I need to embed this as an inline page, not a pop-up. If I did a pop-up, basically somebody clicks a button and it pops up. I don't want that. Okay. And I'll show both. Inline page. So I'm going to copy this code. I'm going to go back to here and I'm going to paste this code. I'm going to hit save. I'm going to hit done. I'm going to hit publish. So now this is what'll load. Somebody can scroll like, huh. Now if you hit builder, back again, this is her widget that we installed. You can widen it if you want it. Remember, it's mobile responsive, so it doesn't matter. So you could decide, you know what, I'm going to go about 1500 wide, so it looks kind of full, especially if they're on their computer. If they're on a mobile phone, it's going to shrink down automatically, but I want it to look nice and clean. Remember, there was a spot where you can put in your verbiage. This is where I would, remember your service description and stuff like that? There was an option on the booking page. Well, that goes right here. We set it for 15 minutes and as a phone call. Now the customers can create. Now the other days are not open yet. If you notice, they're blocked out because I only set 5 days in advance. So that means people can't schedule next week because there's nothing available. They'll be able to schedule for Monday on Wednesday. Then you get 1, 2, 3, 4. Monday's 5 days. All depends on how you set up your settings. So like, okay, you know what? Great. Nobody's going to schedule something for next week. I'm going on vacation. You can adjust next week before you do that. Okay, this is one option, which is called the inline web. When you, excuse me, not the link, when you embed is the inline option because I want it on its own page. You may decide I want it as a pop-up, the second option, which is this one, button with pop-up. If I click that down, this is what it would look like. Book an appointment. This is the code. So if I copy this code, which I just did, I'm going to go back to Isabella's site. I'm going to go to a home page. We are going to hit builder. Now, the button's not going to look like contact me, but it's okay. I just want to show you. I am going to go plus, and I'm going to grab the HTML widget again, but I'm going to put it right here underneath contact me. And then I'm going to paste that code, save, and hopefully I did it right, and publish. And we're going to give it a second. There it is. Popped in here. Book an appointment. So now let's say somebody lands on Isabella's site. They say, oh, okay, let me click this. It'll do a pop-up. They can schedule an appointment, and now Isabella can potentially capture a lead, or any of you that want to do that. This is basically how you put it, an option. Now, if you notice when we did the buttons, where was that one? No, no. This is what happens when I get all confused. Edit. Okay, so this is in here, but we are going to share, embed, pop up. there's no option to change the color. Oh wait, hold on, there is. Um, that's as close as we're gonna get. So that is, I'm sorry, but before there wasn't that option. So now add a custom color. So
There
it
you go.
says I want to add the Century 21 gold. Done. That should technically update there. Share, bed, pop up. I wonder if may have to redo the code. Let me check. Now recopy the code, come back to Builder because I need to edit this page, basically. I need to click on the button, remove the code, repaste the new code, and hit save. Hit done, hit publish. And give it a second. Nope, still blue. But oh well, I'm not gonna worry about it. If it's blue, it's blue. It'll get somebody's attention right there, book an appointment. So now somebody has a book an appointment, they can go here in the menu bar because we added that and we didn't tell it to go anywhere. It's gonna be right there, that book an appointment. Somebody could decide to click on that, schedule an appointment. Now the cool thing is anytime you need to change anything on your booking calendar, you just go back to your Google Calendar. Anywhere you see these marks, see where it says in gray, personal 10 a.m., personal 1 o'clock, these little grids, anytime you see those, you can actually click on it on the gray part. It says, open the booking page or share or hit edit. And then now you can edit your availability. What you can also do is I can come in and says, you know what, 2 o'clock, even though I'm not on that appointment. Management L10, save it. So added that L10. If I go back to her calendar and refresh it, oh, that's today. Never mind. Should have been, yeah, tomorrow's. I'm gonna put this for 2 o'clock tomorrow. My senior coalition luncheon, I'm gonna make it, let's say, there. So I got that one and then 2 to 3. So if I go back to her calendar, see those time slots are taken. It's all taken in here. So it's actually really cool, really simple to use. And you know what? It's instead of using Calendly and paying for it, this is actually free. And the good thing is syncs with your Google Calendar and it syncs with your Moxie Engage. So whenever you have appointments that get scheduled, they'll show up in Moxie Engage that somebody scheduled an appointment. So do you have any questions, Mitz?
Not really. Nothing on the chat. I just commented to Jessica and Sandra that that's I was thinking they should use this Calendarly thing for their appointments. I mean, not Calendarly, excuse me, Google Calendar for their appointments.
I mean,
To,
realtors can use it, managers can use it, and says, you know what, I want to have certain time slots that maybe if I'm prospecting,
yeah.
somebody want to have a 15-minute consultation with me for recruiting or moving over. Yeah, the main thing is to when you start is don't open up your availability full.
Hmm.
Set like maybe one, 2 appointments a day max between a time frame that you know you're basically available. This way you don't get overwhelmed and all of a sudden you share it and like, oh my God, I got five appointments today and I got so much to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have to be strategic on when you first get started because you're not used to the system. It's like, okay, I know for sure that 8 to 10 on Mondays I can make some time. Okay, great. Of course, if Sandra's using it, she's gonna make sure that she adds her L10s in at 2 because then that'll take away the Monday afternoon. So nobody can schedule during that time and now she has a conflict. So I wouldn't schedule it. But yeah, it's actually, I mean, the cool thing is free. It just adds that little bit of kind of trust with Google and your clients. It says, oh, wow, Bob's kind of busy, but he's got availability tomorrow. Like, you know what, Wednesday at 2. Let me book a 15-minute call with him or a 30-minute call and a 30-minute buffer. So you know that if I have a 3-hour opening, I can only take three maximum appointments, one
Yeah.
every
I, as realtors, I think you guys should give yourself like a 30-minute buffer, 15 minutes to get to the property and 15 minutes to like open up lights and windows and things like that before you show the property. You know, those kinds of things are important in order to get the right response from people. I think it's beautiful. It's a great way. I do a lot of showings for myself, but I show a lot of rental properties too. So I only give them so many times a day for me to be able to do that. And I opened myself up for that 30 minutes because it takes about 30 minutes to get from one side of Fresno to the other. So we can pretty much cover all of Fresno that way. But very convenient, great reminders. I actually have it remind the clients by email that they have an appointment with me. So that I mean that's great stuff. So
Yeah, it is. It's actually very super useful. I mean, just like you know what, I was looking at the calendar 12:45 for Monday, but let's say Monday 9, we got all of this open on Wednesday. And if I took the L10 for Wednesday and dropped it and decided that I wanted to expand it just manually, it's going to be a 3-hour meeting for God's sake on a Wednesday. It's okay, you add it, and but look what happens on Wednesday. Your availability just disappears. So
yeah.
you can manually add appointments. Like right now, Friday is wide open. I can decide, well, you know what, let me move this to Friday and watch what happens. Wednesday comes open again, Friday's taken. So if you know that, like, you know what, I put on my calendar that I'm available on Friday, but I wanted to cut out early, well, just, you know what, add a miscellaneous appointment just only for yourself. So you know that, hey, I'm going to schedule a miscellaneous appointment for myself. So this way I know that by 9 o'clock, if nobody schedules an appointment with me, I'm done. So then I'm only available at 7 or 8:30, and after 9 o'clock, I'm free because maybe I'm heading out of town. So you can just add little miscellaneous appointments only you know, just to take away time frames that you know that you got things going on.
Yep.
So it's
And
really easy to use. And then if you take that back out, it'll show back up on the calendar, and now your availability is open. So just learning how to go in and just tweak your hours real quick, keeping your steady schedule, just adding miscellaneous appointment just to give you a little bit of breather. It's super easy to do. So hopefully this training helped. Hopefully you guys will see how awesome this appointment scheduling is, or how beneficial it could be. If you have any questions, reach out to Mitch or myself. We'd be happy to help you. And those of you that are on a call in Fresno, I will see you guys Wednesday. I will be there first thing in the morning. So if there's no other questions, you guys have an amazing day. Thank you.
Hey, Bob, let me show everybody a real quick trick that I don't remember that text to message thing that I was telling you about, text expander. I mean
Uh,
that's how I use the calendar thing mostly. It's just like a real quick, instead of cutting and pasting stuff, you can actually just pull it out of thin air every time just by using keystrokes. And something that I'm going to add to Jessica and Sandra's computers eventually. And it's like a $3 app or something like that. Or maybe we can do that another time. Let's just do it another time. I take it
yeah,
back.
Mitch, don't confuse everybody, please.
I'm sorry, man. You know me. I like to throw a
Yeah,
monkey
that's why
wrench
I
in
should have
everything.
muted you.
Sorry, guys. Next time. Next time.
Yeah, well, you know what? Next week we'll just have Mitch do the entire hour, and then if you get
No,
left
no, no,
field,
no.
yeah, it'll be all yours next week, buddy.
Oh,
All,
great.
all
Thank
your
you.
little hints and stuff. We'll let you have fun with those.
Well, then we have a 5-minute meeting. That's it.
I know. You guys have a great day, okay? If you need anything,
Thanks,
reach out
Bob.
anytime. Bye now.
Bye.